Ready? Sure. Today at approximately 1:20 p.m., Beverly Hills police detectives arrested Joseph Lyle Menendez, 22, for the August murders of his mother and father, Maria Louise Kitty Menendez and Jose Enrique Menendez. His brother, Eric Galen Menendez, 19, also wanted for the same crimes, is being sought, is believed to be out of the country. This arrest follows a nearly 7-month investigation that began on August 20th, 1989, when Mr. and Mrs. Menendez were found savagely shotgunned to death in the family room of their home at 722 North Elm Drive in Beverly Hills. Joseph, who goes by his middle name Lyle, was arrested in the city of Beverly Hills as he attempted to drive away from his home. He offered no resistance and was taken into custody without incident. He is being held without bail at Los Angeles County Jail pending his arraignment.
Radio in the background.
Eric Menendez is believed to be in Israel and is being sought by detectives of this department with the assistance of the Israeli government, the U.S. State Department, and Interpol. A warrant for his arrest is, of course, being obtained. Perhaps this is an organized crime hit. There are a lot of theories, and so we started off with complete objectivity in mind, but as we continued our investigation, which I might add was conducted by these detectives here round the clock for these 7 months, the focus became very clear on these two sons. And I might say that over the months we've gathered a lot of evidence. It has been very circumstantial, and we were waiting for the glue, if you will, to bind it all together. And just recently that glue has come about, and I feel that we have a very tight case indeed. Well, unfortunately, the investigation is still proceeding. The case is quite a ways from trial, and so I can't get too definitive at this point. It would be inappropriate.
Mr. spokesman said that the police became aware that there was a conversation between Lyle and his brother with a psychiatrist after the killing. Is that true?
I would not want to comment on that.
Why would the DA have said it if it wasn't true?
The DA can say whatever he wants to say. We have a case ongoing here, and I don't want to take any chance on jeopardizing it.
Do you have anything in the way of solid physical evidence, a weapon, shell casings, any other information?
We do have physical evidence.
Do you have the weapon?
I won't comment on that either. I'm sorry.
What about a motive?
Well, the motives, of course, are varied. It's no big secret that the Menendezes had an estate that was worth millions of dollars.
How many millions?
And then, of course, who knows what really goes on within a family. Yes, ma'am.
How many millions of dollars?
Well, there have been various reports, 10 to 17 million, and of course, we haven't confirmed that.
How much was his personal life insurance policy? Are you aware?
His personal life insurance was variable because there were a couple of policies, I understand, and one by the company and so forth. So there was no single insurance policy. But the estate was substantial.
Was the will and probate already?
I'm sorry?
Was the will and probate already?
Well, the will went into probate after the death.
Is it still in probate or has
Yes, yes.
Chief, you say you never know what goes on within a family. I mean, obviously your detectives done a lot of talking. What do you think is going on?
Well, I don't think it'd be appropriate to speculate on that. As all I know is that as in any family, there are a lot of conflicts, and you asked me a question about the motive, and frankly, I don't know if there was a sole motive or several motives.
Chief, why weren't the sons suspects from the outset?
Well, from the very outset, the sons were suspect.
Did
But
you check the powder burns?
pardon me?
You said they might have been the gunmen, or you thought they were the gunmen. Did you check the powder burns at the time?
Well, again, the sons were suspects as well as everyone was. As I mentioned, we started out very objectively, but as we progressed, the focus came very clearly on the sons, and we even then continued to investigate other possible suspects and other possible motives, and we kept coming back to this one clear focus.
Chief, on the Menendez's will, apparently there was a provision that common death or a common disaster would leave the entire estate to the sons. Was there any indication Mr. Menendez was going to be changing his will, spread out the wealth of
Well, again, the will was very much involved in our investigation, and I don't think it'd be appropriate to comment too specifically on that either.
Were the two sons the primary beneficiaries? In other words, if both parents died in a common disaster, would they get 100% of the estate?
To my knowledge.
Chief, the
Was there
psychiatrist.
any indication, talking with relatives, Mr. Menendez was going to change that will so that other relatives or other people might get a share of the estate and or the businesses?
I won't comment on that.
The family indicated that there had been some deletions in a computer program, or Mr. Menendez was talking about changing his will. Can you confirm that?
I won't confirm it or I won't deny it.
Is there any evidence above and beyond the possibility of this changed will, or might that have been the glue, so to speak, that brought this together?
No, the changed will was not the glue. Or the will in any form was not the glue. Again, that was part of one of the motives that we contemplated.
Do you believe these men did this alone, these boys, men did this alone, or are there other suspects? Do you think they were working with someone else?
No, at this point there is nothing to indicate that there was anyone else involved.
Has the organized crime, could be some of it related to organized crime, or is that angle completely dead?
No, we don't think they were related to organized crime.
Chief, how did the psychiatrist questionings lead to this arrest?
Beg your pardon?
Questioning from the psychiatrist, I understand, to Lyle as well. How did that lead to the arrest?
Again, that would be inappropriate to comment on.
Is there evidence of any drug debts or any drug play involved in this?
None.
Is the psychiatrist a police psychiatrist or?
I'm not commenting on any psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever.
Chief, does the evidence suggest that this had been planned for some time, or that it was something that was done pretty much in the spur of the moment?
Well, a murder as savage as this one would lead the average person to believe that there had to be some planning and lying in wait that went on. I've been in this business for over 33 years, and I've heard of very few murders that were more savage than this one was.
How is this so savage? We haven't gotten a whole lot of details about.
Well, I think the news reports carried the savagery of this murder. It was a shotgun murder, and you know, if you've ever seen a shotgun murder, then you know what I'm saying when I use the word savage. They're brutal.
When did this glue? You won't say what the glue is. When did you get the glue?
Just recently.
Like in the last 24 hours?
Just recently.
Chief, in the search for the second son, search for Eric, where do you have any idea where he is right now?
We think that he's in the state of Israel.
What is that?
Anything less of
He purportedly is involved in some type of tennis tournament.
What does Lyle do for a living, if anything?
Well, Lyle was a student at Princeton University, and he left the university, and he's been traveling all over the country. He's been making investments, and I guess one might refer to him as an entrepreneur.
Was he living in their parents' house still?
Part of the time.
When he was arrested this morning, was he leaving his parents' house?
Yes, he was.
Chief, what channels are you using to?
I'm sorry, Stan?
Can you tell us a little more about the arrest today?
Yes, of course, we have had Lyle under surveillance for about 36 hours, and we were waiting for the propitious moment when to arrest him, and we had that moment today when he left his home. We gave him an opportunity to get away from his home so that the family who were in the home wouldn't be disturbed by this, and we arrested him at that point because we were afraid that if he left the state, we might have some great difficulty in catching him because he does travel all over.
What channel
Pardon me?
Lyle was actually on to you that he might be arrested?
We have no indication that he was on to us that we were going to arrest him imminently.
Did you have an indication, Chief, that he felt that he had, even though police couldn't beat the rap at this point, that he really was home free?
I would have to speculate on that. I don't really believe that they could think that we had not contemplated their involvement in this murder.
Are they the natural sons?
Pardon me?
Are they the natural
Yes,
sons?
they are the natural sons.
What channels are you using to apprehend Eric?
We're, as I mentioned, we're using the Israeli government, we're using the U.S. State Department, and Interpol.
Do you anticipate any problems with that, with extradition or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Of course, we don't know his exact location in Israel at this point. I suspect that we will learn very, very quickly where he is, and the Israeli government is very cooperative, and I don't anticipate any problem there.
You've been surveilling the brother, the one that you arrested today, but you have not been keeping a surveillance on the one that's in Israel?
No.
Chief, do you know how long he's been in Israel for?
You know how long he's been in Israel? Probably about a week.
And did Lyle make any statements to you guys after his release?
I wouldn't comment on that.
Is the motive then heard some information that there might have been involvement with a movie or a screenplay or a movie called Perfect Murder somehow led you to this?
Would you say the question again?
We heard that there was some involvement with a screenplay or a movie. There may have been evidence in what you...
Well, I wouldn't place a direct nexus between the screenplay and the actual crime or whatever. Something that is infamous as this crime is and is well publicized is the subject of a lot of people wanting to write a screenplay or write a book.
But the screenplay helped you solve this case?
No.
You say Lyle, you think he's an entrepreneur? What sort of deal? What kind of entrepreneur?
Well, from my understanding, he's going into business. He's buying certain stores, and he's going into business, some back in New Jersey. Food stores, fast food stores, that type.
Using his father's money to do this?
We don't know.
What involvement did this movie have in this case at all, or did it?
What movie have?
Any involvement with the screenplay?
Was it authored by one of the brothers?
I wouldn't want to comment on that at this point either.
Is the motive then clearly the inheritance money?
No, I'm saying that is one of the possible motives. There are several motives here. Well, as I mentioned, the motives, the estate is significant. That's all I'll comment.
Of a disagreement between the kids and the parents. Is there any evidence that there has been disagreement either on money matters, family matters, whatever?
I won't comment on that either. One more question.
Chief, forgive me if you've been answered.
Yes, sir.
This already, but you know at this point who the shooter was.
It's the family. I mean, regular access, why such a brutal killing?
That's a question that's been asked over the eons. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
Did any of these boys' friends lead you to?
Parents had to go to the movies. Some said one or
Dan.
did either of them admit?
I won't comment.
Which one do you want to see? Let's see which one's up first and then we'll do the other. No, we should have. No, you want to see? You want to see which one? You want to see? No, Bob, you sit in the other. Bob, you sit over there. What do you have?
Meeting come to order. Division 5 is once again in session. Honorable Judge Stein, judge presiding.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon,
This is the case of the people of the state of California versus Eric Galen Menendez and Joseph Lyle Menendez. The record will reflect the defendants are present with counsel and the people are represented. Would the defendants please rise? Eric Galen Menendez. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Joseph Lyle Menendez. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Eric Galen Menendez, you are charged in count 1 with a violation of Penal Code Section 187A, murder of Jose Menendez, a human being, for financial gain while lying in wait with a firearm. You are further charged in count 2 with a violation of Penal Code Section 187A, murder of a Maria Menendez, a human being, for financial gain while lying in wait with a firearm. You are further charged with special circumstances for which you could be sentenced to death. Do you?
Also, the people at this time are moving to release the contents of the affidavit. We've discussed this with counsel, and they'd also like an opportunity to brief that issue as well on the day of the continuance. So I don't have any difficulty with that.
Your Honor, we would, however, like to receive the documents so that we can prepare the matters for further proceedings on March the 26th, as well as prepare for a bail motion on behalf of Eric Mendez in this instance. That being the case, we would ask that the matters be provided to counsel immediately and to counsel only.
And that including the affidavit for the search warrant.
Understanding that these, this discovery is going to be released to counsel under the circumstances where they're going to have an opportunity to review it for purposes of these motions, and that it's not to be disclosed to any further counsel except those who are immediately operating with counsel, we have no difficulty in releasing this discovery.
It's our understanding that the matters will be released to us and only us, and that we will not be allowed to release them to anyone other than discussing them with our clients.
In light of the representations and motions of counsel, the arraignment and plea in this matter is continued to March 26, 1990 at 2 p.m. It is further ordered that the affidavits be released to counsel for the defendants are each ordered not to discuss the contents, either directly or indirectly, of the sealed affidavits with anyone other than their clients without further court order. The matter will be continued also to the 26th of March for investigation regarding any potential conflict of interest. And, of course, for determination of the status of the sealed affidavits, further motions, and any bail motions.
Your Honor, on behalf of Eric Mendez, the record should reflect that he will waive time till March the 26th for these purposes.
That will be the next matter for the court to request. Mr. Eric Galen Menendez, you have the right to have your arraignment and plea within 48 hours of your arrest, and your preliminary hearing within 10 days of your arraignment and within 60 days of your arraignment. Do you give up that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel join.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Shapiro. People join.
People join, yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Alhara.
May the record reflect that I am handing counsel.
Excuse me, we need to have a waiver as to Mr. Joseph Lyle Menendez.
We can do that.
Joseph Lyle Menendez, you have the right to have your arraignment within 48 hours of your arrest, your preliminary hearing within 10 days of your arraignment and plea, and within 60 days of your arraignment and plea. Do you give up that right?
Yes,
Counsel join?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chaliff. People join. Thank you, Mr. Alhana.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that I am handing the discovery of the people's case to counsel for Mr. Joseph Lyle Menendez and to counsel for Eric Menendez. And if counsel would just sign a receipt on that, I appreciate it.
The record will so reflect.
The record should also reflect that contained within these documents are a copy of the complaint.
Yeah.
Yes, the documents do carry copies of the complaint.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Waiting for the people, Your Honor.
Court will stand in recess on this matter until March 25th.
Quiet, please.
When I walked in the room, I was panicking, and I just fired every shot I had. I didn't stop to take a look at what I was doing after each shot. I just fired until there was nothing left. And what happened in between when I first started firing, when I ended, is just a red blank to me.
Were you trying to mislead the juries?
No, I was not.
Into thinking that your mother was bigger than she was?
No.
To make you more believable when you said you were scared of her?
No.
Were you exaggerating?
No, I wasn't.
And tried to take her clothes off? Remember that testimony?
Yes.
Were you acting in self-defense there, too?
No.
He was with you on this night, too.
Yes, he was.
And are you saying that there was no discussion whatsoever about which one of you would shoot which parent?
Ask and answer.
We didn't know where my parents were in the room. We thought my parents were coming out. We thought they had guns. We weren't